Hello YouTube, I'm David Frankel and I'm at London St Pancras. It's out with the trips and holidays and in with the gap year. So here I am outside Brussels Midi. Good morning, it is now Tuesday here in slightly rainy Luxembourg. I'm now beginning the next phase of my InterRailing trip. I'm heading into Germany. Hello YouTube, this is Cologne Hauptbahnhof, that is Cologne Cathedral. So I've joined a walking tour. Today is Saturday, my first full day in Berlin. So here I am on the roof of the Reichstag. Hello YouTube, I'm David Frankel. I'm here at Berlin Hauptbahnhof.
We are now going on board the ferry.
Good morning, today is Monday. I've got one full day here in Copenhagen. Tomorrow I'm going to Gothenburg. And so here I am in Sweden. So here I am back in Hamburg. Good morning, it is now Friday, here in Nuremberg. So this is my train to Frankfurt. And so here I am, Frankfurt, my home place of yesteryear. Shall we go to the dinosaur museum, Mum?
Again?
We're now on our way to Hauptbahnhof. They're off to the airport. I've got another night in Frankfurt. Good morning. I'm in Strasbourg. So here I am in Lyon. Okay, slight problem. The 9:58 to Nice doesn't seem to exist. Good morning, it is now Saturday. I'm here in Nice. Good morning, it's now Monday and I'm in Genova. Here you can see a wonderful view of Genova. So here I am in Piazza del Ferrari. Hello guys, something seems slightly weird about this tower. Has anyone else noticed it? The Cathedral Santa Maria del Fiore. Good afternoon, it's now Monday. I'm in Verona after an action-packed few days. I've had a slightly quiet morning, delaying, and spent a few hours just getting a few things done, including booking my train back from Budapest to Manchester. Welcome to the final part of InterRail, my journey from London to Budapest the long way. So far I've visited Brussels, Luxembourg, Cologne and Berlin before heading up into Denmark, back down into Germany, through France and across northern Italy. In the last episode I spent the day in Venice before travelling west to Verona. I'll pick up this final part by exploring the city of Verona, then I'll head north through the spectacular Brenner Pass, stopping off at Innsbruck before visiting Salzburg. Finally, I'll travel east to the Hungarian capital and my other home city of Budapest. So this is the Piazza dei Signori, where you can see they're setting up the Christmas markets. It's the 11th of November, but the Christmas season is coming soon. Just over there is the International Centre for Photography. Obviously, I forgot that it was Monday today, i.e. International All Museums Are Closed Day. So this is the house of Romeo. Romeo was of course a fictional character, but he still has a house, for reasons I don't fully understand. The tourist attraction Romeo's house consists of simply this doorway and a plaque and a whole bunch of people having scribbled their couple's names on them. There is also a Juliet's house, which is an actual museum that's around the corner, and contrary to international law, it seems, it's actually open today, so I might as well have a look. Here we have an absolutely lovely public square, the view of which has been totally ruined by these ugly hanging Christmas lights, which totally crisscross in front of your view of all the nice buildings. On the plus side, there's actual markets here, which are open. And the Juliet house is just over here. Juliet's house is in fact the former house of the Capello family, which is believed to have inspired the Capulets in the infamous Shakespeare play. The house is now a museum dedicated to the story and also contains some props and costumes from the 1968 Zeffirelli film, including this bed. So continuing my walk towards the arena, here is Porta Leone, the remains of the old Roman gate to the city. The street just kind of opens up to reveal these old ruins underneath, which looks very cool. So apparently my ticket for Juliet's house also gives me access to Juliet's tomb, which is an art museum, but I can only use it today, so I'll probably do that now and then do the arena tomorrow instead. The landmark known as Juliet's tomb is in fact the Abbey of San Francesco, which is believed to have inspired the crypt in which the finale of Romeo and Juliet takes place. The actual sarcophagus is empty because, well, Juliet was a fictional character who didn't actually exist. Well, here's the arena, which for the second time I've seen in the dark. I'll come back here tomorrow morning and go inside and see it in the light. But for now, I'm just looking for something to eat. Up and 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 up. Good morning, today's Tuesday, full day here in Verona. So far today I've gone up the Tower Lamberti, get a nice view of the city and of the Alps in the not so far distance. It's funny because I was standing on the tower, I'd climbed up to the tower in Munich and was looking at the same Alps but from the other end. So now I've gone full circle and tomorrow I'll be going right through them, through the Brenner Pass. I also went to see the synagogue, but it was closed, I couldn't go inside. I'm now off to go and visit the arena. So here I am inside the arena, which looks a bit like a miniature version of the Colosseum in Rome. It's similar, but it's actually a couple of decades older. And it's still used for operas, though it is not currently the season. It's only during the summer, and I can understand why, because there's no roof, so if it rains, then it's not going to be entirely pleasant to sit down in for a few hours. There's also there's another old Roman theatre quite close to my hostel. I might go visit that later today, or maybe tomorrow morning. What looks like another old gate to the city, the Porta Borsari. Now it just looks like a kind of disembodied facade just in the middle of the street here. Just walking around Verona, there's just loads of these, just bits of old building that you can see. was the Roman theatre. You walk up the stairs, there's an old monastery which contains within it an archaeological museum, all included in the ticket price. Loads of old Roman stuff to see here, so definitely worth doing if you're in the city. It's now about 3 o'clock. I'm kind of tired of sightseeing for today. So here I am in Innsbruck, having dropped off my bag. It's too early to check in. I dropped it off at the hostel. This is the River Inn, for which Innsbruck and the Inn Valley are named. It is a gorgeous turquoise, unlike the Arno in Tuscany, which was a murky brown the whole time. Down in the city itself, the snow is less nice and more kind of slushy, but up in the hills it looks pristine. I might go up there in a bit, or maybe tomorrow morning, to get a nice view of Innsbruck. In the meantime, I'm walking along the river back towards the city centre to go and see the Golden Dome, which apparently is one of the main landmarks of the city. As you can see, I'm in my winter gear. Didn't actually have a proper coat, so I bought one in Verona, and I brought a scarf and hat and everything with me. The only thing I'm missing are proper shoes or proper boots and thermal socks, which I don't have, so now my feet are going to be wet and cold. Literally 5 minutes walk from the hostel. It looks like there's a funicular, but it looks suspiciously closed. The Hungerberg Bahn first opened in 1906, linking Innsbruck city and the summit at Hungerberg. In 2007, the line was rebuilt and rerouted, with new stations at Lowenhaus and Congress being built. The architecture of the line earned it a feature in Tim Dunn's The Architecture the Railways Built. Sadly, the railway was closed at the time of my visit. Further along the river, the original southern end of the line, with the terminus at Reisenrundgemalt, can be found. The bridge across the Inn narrowly survived demolition and is now a listed monument. My bad, that's Golden Roof, not Golden Dome. I read that wrong. This is the Golden Roof. There's also a Golden Roof Museum, but I'm going to snub that and go to the Imperial Palace instead. So that was the Hofburg, where unfortunately I was not allowed to take photos inside. But I had a good look around, lovely old palace rooms and paintings. It's now about 4 o'clock. I'm hungry, but if I eat now, I probably won't eat again later. So I guess I'll have a late lunch / early dinner and then retire back to the hostel. Good morning, it's 11 o'clock. I've had a slightly late start out of the hostel. It's a lot clearer than yesterday, so you can see the top of the mountain peaks. It was all cloudy yesterday, so it would be a fantastic day to go up and see the view. But, as we established, the railway that you can even see over there is closed until tomorrow, which is tragic. I'm now catching the railjet train to Salzburg. This train carries on to Vienna Airport, although there are a number of these that go straight from Innsbruck to Budapest. Now, I said back in Karlsruhe, or Baden-Baden, that I was finishing Germany for this InterRail trip. It's technically not quite true, because although this train goes from Innsbruck, which is in Austria, to Salzburg, which is in Austria, it passes through a bit of Germany on the way, just because Austrian geography is a bit weird like that. So I think it goes through the town of Rosenheim. It was basically a shortcut to get from Western Austria into Central Austria. So we'll be popping back into Germany very briefly.
Ja.
So here I am in Salzburg. I dropped off my bag in the last hostel of the trip. I'm now heading down to the old town, the riverside, and also the Mozart house. What Salzburg lacks in trams, it makes up for with trolleybuses. And they don't mess around with the trolleybuses here. Oh, they even look a bit like trams. So I've come down to the riverside, it's the River Salzburg. There's actually two Mozart houses. There's his residence and his birthplace, and the residence on this side, birthplace is over on the other side. So before I cross over, let's go take a look at the resident house. It's not just a plaque on a house, but it's got a whole museum as well. Might do it tomorrow, see if there's anything else I want to do. But for today, I want to cross over and see the old town on the other side of the Salzburg. So I stopped off for a hot chocolate. Meanwhile, it's 5 o'clock and it's already gone dark. I travel up the Festungsbahn funicular, which takes me up to the Festung Hohen Salzburg, a castle overlooking the city. I've had a lazy morning, but today I've climbed up to the Hohen Salzburg castle. I'm joined here by Ariel. He is friend who's studying here in Salzburg. He's come to be my tour guide for the afternoon. Hello, today is Saturday. It is the very last day of my 2-month-long InterRail trip. This afternoon I'm catching my train to Budapest, where the trip officially ends, although in a way it carries on because I'll be in Budapest for a bit and then I'll go back to Manchester, but the actual InterRail ticket finishes today. I'm outside Salzburg Bahnhof today. Unlike yesterday, I've gotten up dead early in the morning, at 7 o'clock. Got out of the hostel 8:10 because I wanted to make the most of my last day. Today I'm going a bit out of Salzburg. I'm going to catch the bus to the Untersbergbahn and take a cable car up into the mountains. Something I wanted to do in Innsbruck but didn't get around to, so I'm going to do it today here in Salzburg. That being said, it's quite foggy, so well, here I am, but I think the fog's actually gotten worse since I left. You can literally just, you can see the bottom station and the wire just disappears. Is there a point going up? So I will see nothing. Is it worth bothering? Well, it looks like the decision is entirely out of my hands because it seems to be closed for a period of 1.5 months. Did it not say that on Google Maps? Should I have checked? Is this not the first time I've made a similar blunder? Right, well that was a waste of time. Half an hour bus journey. Now I can go right back to Salzburg outbound. I take a ride on the Münchsburg lift, part of the Museum of Modern Art. Wow, what a fantastic view of Salzburg. Really worth the €3.80. I mean, it's not that bad. Still, it's a foggy day. I just wanted to take the lift. And anyway, I've now booked for the 3 o'clock train, so with the cable car being closed, I'm gonna have to find something else to do to kill some time. Maybe I'll go to the Mozart Museum after all. I then visit the Mozart Museum, which is underwhelming, and in any case I couldn't take photos inside, before returning to the base of the funicular for something tasty. So I decided to pop back to the bakery just next to the funicular that we popped our head into yesterday. With me and Oreo decided to buy some brioche rolls that have just come out the oven. They're still warm and they smell lovely.
Markartplatz. Umsteigemöglichkeit zu den Linien 4, 21 und 22. Change here for the lines 4, 21 and 22. Main station. Change here for the lines 3, 6, 23. Suburban train lines S1, S2, S3, S11. Regional and long distance services.
Indul el a vonat, basszus, addig bármi közben jön. Indítom őket Münchenből, most ugyanazon a vonaton ülök, ami kvázi
And here I am, some God knows how many trains later, 2 months later, at Budapest.
A 11. vágányra szerelvény érkezik. A vágány mellett kérjük vigyázzanak.
This is the end of my InterRailing adventure. In any case, I've been met by Mum here.
A 11. vágányra szerelvény érkezik.
I'd originally planned to fly from Budapest to Muscat, but I later decided to return to the UK by train. Starting in Budapest, I'll take a railjet to Vienna, then board the overnight nightjet train to Cologne. In the morning, a German ICE train will take me to Brussels, where I'll pick up the Eurostar that'll take me back to London St Pancras, where I started my journey just over 2 months ago. Today is Wednesday, the 20th of November 2019. Today I'm travelling all the way back to Manchester by train. This was of course not the original plan. I was originally planning to fly from here to Oman to spend the winter there, but then the election came along and I decided I want to go and campaign. Not that that is entirely relevant for this video, because today, before I set off on the train, I've decided to be a bit of a tourist here in Budapest for a day and see some of the sites that I never quite got round to. Budapest Shiklaw, the Castle Hill funicular, and this is Castle Hill. There is the Budavari Palace, or the Buda Castle Palace, which is an odd name. The actual castle for which Castle Hill is named is long gone, but I think that's probably what these ruins are. But if you go further that way, you get to the Fisherman's Bastion, which I don't think I've ever actually been to. So that's my main goal for the day, is to go see the Fisherman's Bastion, and then I'm going to head back to the flat because I'm a bit short on time. There's lots more sites like these in Budapest that I've never got round to, but I'll be here for the first half of next year, so I've got plenty of time to do all of them. In fact, I'll have so much time that I probably won't do them. So I've walked over to the Mátyás Templum, and this is the Halász Bastion, or the Fisherman's Bastion, just behind it. Honestly say, don't think I've walked around here before at all, or at least not that I remember. So just like in London, boats here in Budapest are a form of public transport. They're not always obvious to find because you've got loads of piers all along the river, and most of them are private for tourist cruises or various other things. But if you look out for the little D in the black and white circle, you will find the public transport boat lines. And there are some that go along the river, and there are some that are just used to literally cross from one side or the other. here, just opposite the Parliament, is a bit of an awkward spot right between the Landheed and the Margate-Heed. So it's a long way to either one of the bridges. So this is one of the points where you can get a boat across, which is what I'm going to do, just for the fun of it. You can also take the metro underneath. This is where the Metro 2 goes under the river. So here I am back at Keleti. That is the train to Salzburg, although I'm only travelling as far as Vienna, where I'll swap to the Nightjet, Railjet to Nightjet. It leaves in 10 minutes. I've cut this one a bit fine. It wasn't my fault though, the bus took way longer than it usually did, because it's 5:30 and so there's a lot of traffic. Bahnhof, and you can cross the platform, and the Nightjet is right over there. So in both directions the change in Vienna is a very easy change. This is the Nightjet to Hamburg and Düsseldorf. Obviously make sure you board the correct coach, or you might end up somewhere you don't want to be. Not that there's anything wrong with Hamburg, you can go see Miniature Wonderland. From January you'll be able to get a through train all the way to Brussels, which will eliminate an entire change off of this journey, which will be very useful indeed. Although on the plus side, if you're changing in Cologne, you'll probably have enough time to pop your head into the cathedral. am off my ICE train at Brussels Mini. From here you can board the Eurostar to London. This is another change that could have been eliminated if Deutsche Bahn had been successful in introducing their London to Frankfurt services, which they gave up last year. Unfortunately, there's now speculation that the merging of Eurostar and Thalys could result in the creation of a direct service into at least Cologne, if not Frankfurt. But again, that has the same problem as the ICE service, which is that you'd need either border controls in Frankfurt and Cologne station, or, you know, a sensible relaxation of the border laws that just allow you to check passports on arrival, which obviously makes far too much sense, and so it would probably never happen. In the meantime, you've just got to get off here, go down, go through passport control, up to the Eurostar. Hopefully the queue won't be too long. Back in the United Kingdom. It's probably the longest I've been away from the UK in just over 10 years since we moved here, so 12 years. I'm back at London St Pancras. I'll spend the weekend here and then I'll head back to Manchester on Sunday. Meanwhile, I've got a Eurostar departure here for Marseille. I thought, oh yeah, these do run all year round now. Forgotten about that. Get a train all the way to Marseille. But you can't change there to get to Nice. Or maybe you can. Maybe the line's reopened by now. Anyway, been there, done that. So here I am at St Pancras International, back where I started, back on the 19th of September. It was well over 2 months ago. Thank you for joining me on this exciting InterRailing adventure. The adventures will continue next year. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.